Yeah, so what we have in the background here is an ecological restoration project that was led by Dr. Eddie Alford from our ASU campus. This used to be a four-wheel drive road going up to the saddle here, and the reason why it was very bad for the environment here is because the heavy vehicles and the churning of the wheels and the abrasion and the friction from the wheels on the vehicles, especially as they were spinning their wheels to get up a steep slope like this, just tore apart that cryptogamic crust, which is essential for supporting the plant life and the animal life that's associated with it, like insects, for example. So everything died, and nothing was growing here. It was just a bare scar on the side of the mountain. So what he did, his class, this was several class projects, more than one semester. They actually constructed small earthen dams here. You can see about every 3 feet or 4 feet, they built a small little earthen dam, mainly just using a pickaxe, shovel, and brute hard labor, to break up that compacted soil that where the four-wheel drive vehicles had compacted the soil and made it impossible for air and water to get down to support plant life and insect life and other forms of animal life. So they broke up that hard packed soil with pickaxes and then spread it out so that it was in rows of piles of rocks to slow down the flow of rainwater when we get really strong thunderstorms here in July, August, and September. You can sometimes get 2 inches of rain falling in an hour over top of this mountain, and that causes just a lot of erosion, especially when there's no plant life to hold the soil in place. So it slows down the flow of the water, and then also they scattered seeds of native plants, and you can see quite a few brittle bush. Those yellow flowers are what they call brittle bush, otherwise known as salt bush or desert salt bush, and they're going really good right now. Every time you see a plant sticking its roots into the ground, it's going to hold the soil in place better. I also see some annual grasses growing in there. I don't see much of anything else. I see a creosote bush over there. So right now it looks like when we talked about succession and the sideral stages in the ecological progression of life. So this is the first part of the successional stages for this restored landscape, and that's brittle bush is the first plant that's able to get its roots down in there. Maybe 10 years, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, we're going to start seeing some taller bushes and trees growing in here, like the creosote bush, the palo verde, the ironwood, and maybe after 100 years, it will reach the so-called climax ecosystem for the lower Sonoran Desert at this site. But it's going to take decades and decades for that successional process to finally work its way through. So you're seeing the first successional stage of restoration of desert soil. Okay, that's probably good